Hey, what's going on? This is platinum music producer, composer, 7-time Grammy nominated Marcus Boyd Beats. And if you ain't rocking with the Progress Report, wake up.
This is John McClung Jr., owner of I Am a Testimony Clothing, motivational speaker, and we've been hanging with the Progress Report.
The Progress Report.
This is the Progress Report.
Boss Britt the most lit.
What's up? It's your girl DJ Excel. Hey, we got our next guest in the building. Marcus, what's going on? Introduce yourself to the
What's
world.
going on, people? I am platinum music producer, composer Marcus Boyd Beats, autism activist Marcus Boyd, 1/3 of Kingdom Connection Media Group. We here.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. We appreciate y'all being here. What about you, sir?
I'm John McClung, motivational speaker, owner of I Am a Testimony Clothing, best-selling author, co-owner of Kingdom Connection Media Group.
Absolutely.
Shirt.
I was gonna say we can put your phone right there, though. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you want to get on live or anything like that?
You mind grabbing his phone? I was gonna say we can put your phone up there. My bad. So what's going on, man? You know, we was talking off air, just talking about, you know, all the stuff that you do. So, you know, we heard that you produce. And how many genres you can produce?
I do 18 different genres. I'm the only music producer in Georgia that makes classical, opera, orchestra, heavy metal, epic movie sounds from scratch, country, hard metal, funk, gospel, jazz, trap, anything.
I should have been counting.
And then with trap, it's 8 different styles of trap.
You name it.
It's not just one style.
You name it
trap.
right.
So
I didn't know the main genres.
How do you even know, like, damn, when you say opera and stuff, I don't even know, like first
Movie
of all-
sound effects? I didn't know that was a genre.
Well, epic movie sounds.
Epic
is,
movie sounds?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
how did you learn, you know, all that, or how did you even get introduced to some of that music? Period.
Well, I was born with autism.
So, do
So
you think
I
that was
didn't-
like a gift?
I
in a
didn't start
sense?
speaking until I was 13, maybe at a 2 or 3 year old level.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm 36. I'm a college graduate. I have a bachelor's in journalism and mass communications.
Dope.
Lit.
So that's why I'm an autism activist in that community, because I was born in that community. And you know, when they told Emory Hospital told my grandmother that had left side of my brain would never function correctly, I would always need an adult caregiver. I would never be able to put on my clothes, cook, do anything. I would always need an adult caregiver. If any education, it would be little. But see, that's why God is a God.
That's a fact.
So, you know, when I didn't have friends, I had music. I was in band since 4th grade. Trumpet, alto sax, you know, those was my friends.
Right.
Keyboard, organ, electric keyboard, those was my friends. So I hung out with them daily.
Right. Dang, that's a
Nice.
blessing. So you also can play all these instruments.
8 of them.
That's crazy.
Talented.
So, like, you turned, you know, something that was horrible into something that might be viewed as horrible into a whole blessing, and tapped into stuff that maybe somebody that just grew up regular wouldn't even get to tap into.
I mean, it was definitely a struggle, but you know, with autism, it's a blessing. And you know, in our community, we know different from anybody else. And you know, our voices deserve to be heard too. And when you got a village, that's why, you know, a little bit of the team is here. When you got, you know, that's why John is here. When you have a village to mentor you, to hold you in, you know what I'm saying? That won't make fun of you or treat you different because you have autism. That will encourage you, empower you, and push you. Then you know you can do anything.
That's dope.
True. Well, let's go back a little bit. Can you talk about what autism is exactly for people that might not be familiar?
Yeah, there's two different types, like autism spectrum. A lot of kids are on the spectrum side of autism. I got it from the shot at birth. See, I'm born in '83, so they were just giving out shots per child,
crazy.
and one of those shots caused me to have autism.
That's crazy.
That is.
So I didn't get diagnosed with it at Clifton Springs Mental Health Center in Decatur until I was April 12th, 1993.
Wow.
I was 10. So I got diagnosed with a classic autism. So that's basically saying that, you know, I was thinking different. I didn't like to be around people. I didn't like certain sounds. I didn't like certain colors. I didn't like interacting with new people. I'm still like, I don't like leaving my room. At 36, I'm still like, I don't like leaving my room.
You probably
I
locked
still,
yourself in there on stuff.
Playing music.
yeah,
That's what's up.
all day.
Do you remember much about like being like 13 and like learning how to speak, or can you
Yeah, I
talk
had a
about that
speech
process?
I had a speech therapist. Her name was Anna Gibbs. I had a behavior aide. His name was Bob Ortner. So Bob Ortner used to come to my schools and stuff like that. If I ain't throw the desk at my teacher today, I get to go to the Braves games, Crackle Barrel,
Okay.
the Hawks games.
Rewarded.
When they was giving away free starter jackets, I get to go. I get to go to those. I get to go to those things. Those was the incentives through the behavior aid.
Yeah.
So I had a
That
therapist,
is,
I had a doctor. I mean, like when Charter first came to Atlanta, I was the first child that was inpatient. They was not even doing inpatient. That was in '94.
So is that something like y'all can sue over? Or
No,
no? I mean, no.
we can't get that money.
I mean, if it's a hospital's fault.
No, it's
I'm
I mean, at that time, you don't know how many babies they were shooting with these niggas.
Yeah.
What they was giving kids 4 or 5 different shots. You don't know what. My mom didn't ask questions. My mom has 22 of us. She didn't ask questions.
Yeah.
There was no questions being asked. It was like
normal
next.
procedure.
Right. It was like next. My mom got a set of twins and a set of triplets, and the rest of us are single. So it was not. She wasn't asking questions.
And you had 5 kids that like.
Give me my baby. Let's go. I know what to do.
Okay, so wow. Okay, well let's talk about your mom then. 22 kids. Like where are you along that line there?
Don't get me to start lying, Alex.
Alex.
Wow.
I don't know where I'm at. I
Okay.
just know that at the time it was hard for her, and I'm not here to throw her under
Of
the
course,
bus.
of course
I'm not here to
not.
do that, but I don't know where I would be if she didn't make the decision to let my grandmother raise me and 12 others of my siblings. You know, my
real.
grandmother sacrificed her life, her job. My 9 sisters sacrificed their life and their job to help raise me.
You know, and that's interesting just because I watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of movies. I can't remember which particular movie, but the kid, he had autism, and I don't think they realized it for a while. But, you know, it's interesting to see how the family members deal with that. So just talk about growing up and then, you know, just certain things that that they had a sacrifice that you remember.
I know my sisters, like, if they wanted their boyfriends or something around, and if I was having an emotional episode, because, you know, you talking about the 13-year-old still using the bathroom on himself.
Right.
Number 1 and number 2. You talking about somebody I used to, you know, I had emotional issues and stuff of that nature. So, you know, their boyfriends wanted to hang out. They didn't have boyfriends. They didn't go to proms. They used to walk me to school. When nobody wanted to sit with me at B lunch, they used to have special permission to come in my lunch to sit with me every single day. They walked me home every single day. My dates were my sisters.
That's dope.
So, I mean, they not my dates now. I'm kind of grown. I'm kind of grown. I kind of got a girlfriend.
Okay, kind of got a girlfriend.
I do got a girlfriend.
Okay, don't hit him with the pattern. Don't hit him with the pattern.
I do got a girlfriend.
There we go.
What's up, Tanya?
What up, Tanya?
Yeah, you better say her name, you know.
Okay, I'm good.
So, but you were in and out of foster care as well, though,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And it's crazy, like just overcoming like autism, but overcoming the system is a whole other struggle too.
I mean, you got to understand, when I was in the system, that was 87, 88. There was not a lot of foster children in the cab defects.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was in Decatur, DeKalb County. So Dorothy Carr was my social worker. Deborah White was her supervisor. Larry King was the coordinate supervisor.
You're real good. Your memory is crazy, right?
I mean, I was in the Stone Mountain Emergency Children's Shelter. That shelter is not even there no more.
Wow.
See, I'm old Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't know about the new gentrification and stuff, but I'm old Atlanta.
Right.
And the show that I'm talking about is currently on Netflix. I'm gonna find the name.
I'm going to
of
watch it because I just paid my Netflix
No,
bill.
you
Just
should.
give me the name.
Right. I'm gonna find the name of it, but I encourage everybody to watch it because it caught my attention because it's a new show actually. I think it's just in its second season. It's a really new show, but it's really good. And it helped educate me on autism because I knew what it was vaguely, but I really didn't know certain things that came about it. And it's like his family was so naive to it. But, you know, it's just interesting because I feel like it's a lot of people that they might know that they have autism now, but I feel like, you know, a lot of people either ignore certain signs and certain things just because, you know, you don't want to believe that your kid or your family members have, you know, certain things going on with
Well,
them.
first and foremost, I know they're giving out them bipolar tests now at some of these hospitals, and people are getting them bipolar checks. So if you
even
got
know that.
bipolar, please call that 1-800-bipolar number that's on Google. You can get you a check.
Right. And I feel like
They can
growing
check
up,
anybody.
a lot of us growing up, like, unless you look like you had, like, you looked like you were, you know, disabled, that's when we would look at people like, oh, there's something wrong. But when a kid is like acting out or something, you just think he's a bad kid.
Oh, wow.
It's a very good
Let
show.
me see.
It's called
Well,
Atypical
I didn't stop having emotional issues until I was 24. I'm 36.
Right.
So it used to be like I could be at McDonald's and you can be laughing with her. You don't know me from Adam, but I think you laughing at me. You talking about me. So I'm gonna end up wanting to jump on your back. There's been times I was at McDonald's. I jumped on people's back, try to scratch them, try to fight them, and everything else because in my head I thought you was calling me the N word and saying derogatory stuff to me. So, you know, that didn't stop until my grandmother was on her deathbed.
Oh, wow.
And when she said, do not allow your disability to make room at somebody else's dinner table.
Okay.
Be the leader I know God made you to be. I sacrificed my life and I would do it again if I had another life for you.
That's real.
So it made me stop. It made me stop wanting to be in the streets and everything. Like I really wanted to be in the streets because my brothers was in the streets. So I wanted to hang with them. They didn't let me hang with them.
Right.
So it stopped making me want to do stupid stuff and made me want to achieve to do better things. And then that's when, you know, 2 years ago when I moved here, I met my big brother. I met Tracy Bumpers. I met, you understand what I'm saying? I got a village behind me. And that's why I bring them everywhere I go. Because see, loyalty never spoils.
Straight up.
So if I move, they move.
That's real.
Period.
I respect that,
Like
man.
that.
I love that. Can you talk about some misconceptions of autism?
Yes, like we supposed to be unintelligent. We supposed to be drooling all over ourselves, and we supposed to be having all of these problems all the time, and it's not true. That is not true at all. And what do autism look like?
That's what I was saying.
What do it look like?
Yeah,
Because there's not a poster child for autism.
Yeah, true.
I mean, you know, granted, there are other communities inside of autism, but some of those communities, you know what those persons may look like, but not with autism. If I never opened my mouth and said I had autism, nobody would never know.
Facts.
That's real.
Right.
Well, let's transition to music then. Let's get into that. You know, we had a great discussion about autism. I think that's very important. So let's talk about music. I know you said you've been playing in a band since a young age.
Yeah, I was in concert marching band since 4th grade.
That's
I was in
crazy.
the greatest high school in Atlanta for band. We did Battle of the Bands and everything. I'm sorry, nobody can beat Southwest the Cab. I'm sorry. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong if you can. I'm sorry.
My little brother in
I
band,
was just about to
he
bring
go to
that up.
Miller Grove.
That's a good school.
Yeah.
But it ain't.
You
The
need
band
to get him
ain't
to
better.
Go to Southwest.
band ain't better,
he graduated ready to go to high school. He need to go to Southwest. Ask for Mr. Smith. Ask
Yeah.
for Dr. Smith.
Okay.
Can you
up?
drop, you know, we like she said, we talked about the autism. Can you drop some of the awards you won and been nominated for to show that?
Oh Lord
there's
Jesus.
no boundaries.
Where to start?
You got time.
He looked like y'all got time.
I've been nominated for 7 Grammys. That's working with people like Little Wayne, How to Love in 2011, Dwell Lake, Eric Roberson, Shirley Caesar, Guys Playing in 2013, Marcus Houston, Fabulous, Good Morning America. It's just then 8 music awards, 2 ATL Hottest Awards, 2 Billboard Awards, 1 ASCAP Award.
Look, go ahead.
I mean,
How does that feel? How does that make you feel? Like after everything you've been through, like how does that feel to make those type of accomplishments?
John says his best. This John.
Hey John, I remember John. John with the cool tone. He was like, yeah. He make you feel good, like yeah.
John says his best. Your gift will make room for you. So as long as you putting God first, and as long as you honoring and humbling the Holy Spirit, then the Holy Spirit will honor and humble you.
I believe that. What book? You say you bestseller. What book?
Right, let me
you
get
write?
your book, John.
Let's see here.
Okay.
Oh, you got a list of names, book too.
Actually, I'm in 4 books. 2 of them I originally wrote. I wrote Inside the Relationship Mind of a PK. I just released my second book from a 8 book series I'm going to do called God's Guide to Getting Back on Track. I released that in January. So that's an Amazon bestseller right now. So writing is my thing, but motivational speaking is what I do. And then apparel from a standpoint of I Am a Testimony clothing, which
That's his clothing line.
which I had since 2011. And so that's I'm on the spiritual tip.
I like that.
Yeah.
And they all go hand in hand. So
Everything.
Facts.
I like
Everything.
that.
Nice.
And just to let y'all know, I am a rapper. My bars is rude. I do freestyle.
Oh, can we get a freestyle then?
You don't gotta say none.
Okay.
I was gonna say, do you need a beat or?
Nah.
Oh.
Look, I'm from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get it.
You don't gotta say nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, when it comes to this rapping, let me go ahead and give you a reaction. I'm old fashioned. I only believe in addiction, not dividing and multiplying when it comes to subtraction. Go ahead and say this. You can understand that I saved this. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the shelf. Knew that I was dope. No Neo for the breath. Promise you everything that I say out of my mind. Go ahead and say that I'm nice. Let the metaphors press rewind. Told Boss Britt that it was finally time to hit up Lala, and she said that she was changing her mind. DJ LES, she said that she was gonna do it. I told the manager of the progress report, I don't have to prove it. These moves, I was going to use it when it comes to my thought. You can understand so many times the conscious feeling lost.
Hey,
Let me
man.
learn how to freestyle. I'm gonna just
Hey.
go off on y'all every day.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
"Excel, what the
man.
fuck is wrong with your ponytail? I thought you fucking had it. What the fuck is wrong with your titties? I'm gonna just be spitting shit like, man. Shout out to my nigga
nerves.
Marcus Boyd, man, for the
Nerves.
inspiration, man.
Man, that's awesome, man. So what are you excited about nowadays?
The stuff with KKMG, the stuff with LTM, my management team. Shout out to my PR, Derek. Shout out to my manager, Miss White. Shout out to the whole team with LTM, the whole team with KKMG, Tracy Bumpers, Q. I mean, everybody that deals with me. I'm excited about the new ventures, new stuff that's going on. And I mean, we here. I mean,
my bad.
Quick question. I have a quick question. We kind of like jumped from like, you as a kid to like the awards. Mm-hmm. How did you get working with artists like Fabulous and?
okay, this how this happened. 2000. Okay, like I'm gonna give you the quick story. Fabulous. That was in 2011. That was all for Elzai. Okay. Elzai referred me because I worked with Andre Gardner first. Okay. That's Dwelling. So I worked with him first in the Detroit studio because I was outside. I don't know what I was in front of 7-Eleven downtown Detroit. Mm-hmm. Now, if you familiar with Detroit, you know exactly where I'm talking about. It was downtown Detroit. I was playing guitar. Elzai might have walked out of 7-Eleven. He said he likes how I play. He started talking to me. So Elzai from Slum Village. He started talking to me. It just happened. I was just right there.
Saying it's God's plan,
I was just right
man.
there, and he took me. I told him I was homeless, playing guitar. I was.
Yeah.
Because the Miss Rhonda, who was the store manager at the 7-Eleven, she used to give me juices and sandwiches and stuff before closing time.
Wow.
So she used to make sure I could sleep in the store, but I had to be out like 4 a.m. or something like that. You know what I mean?
That's love.
So Elzai said I don't have to sleep outside no more. Elzai got me a hotel room and brought me to the studio the next day.
That's amazing.
So that's how when I met Andre, we made the song Affinity. Then we made the song Subject Truth for the Subject album, 2011.
That's
Man,
crazy.
don't ever forget to leave that out of your story, because that's that's
Playing guitar outside the
man.
store.
Yeah, I was playing guitar outside of 7-Eleven. I was homeless and hungry.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you ever seen a fat dude not be able to eat when he wants to? That is not a good sight. That is not.
7-Eleven has the best Slurpees ever. Oh my
God, they got the best hot dogs on earth.
Hey, shout out to 7-Eleven, man.
The
Straight up.
original Slurpee.
For real,
Right,
no,
yeah,
that
for
Slurpees
real.
are bomb.com. But man, you have an incredible story, man. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. We got one final question
been an
for
honor.
you. Absolutely. Our show is called The Progress Report. We talk about getting better and all that good stuff, and that's what you've been doing all your life. So what does the word progress mean to you?
I'm gonna make it short, but progress meaning never giving up, waking up to do something else, hustling till you die. That's it. Because it's about residual income, multiple streams of income. Never listen to nobody else. I don't care if you 50, you better act, you better sing, you better paint that house, you better do whatever you need to do. Because they told my grandmother at 11, I would always need an adult supervisor. Somebody would have to cook for me. And I cook for myself. I put this on tonight by myself. I've been on my own since I was 17. So if God can propel you, you need to propel yourself. But I'm gonna let John break down the progress. You know what you do. You know what you do.
You know what the word progress means as well, man.
You know, so I'm an acronym guy, so I wasn't ready to do that tonight. But then when you think about it, if you look at the first half of progress, is pro. You know, a lot of people don't break words down, and so if you think about pro, everything positive has to have an aggression or aggressive. So when you think about having progress in your life, you can't stand still. You got to be willing to grab other people's hands and bring them with you. And then, but above all things, create your own yes with your progress. And if you can do that, then that allows you to move in ways that only God can guide you. And so a lot of individuals, they don't understand that when you're in a position, and that's what it's always about, being in position with your passion to work your purpose, and that's progress.
I like that.
Absolutely,
I like
man.
that.
Fellas, right.
Being in your
You said what now? Right.
He is available to speak at schools, funerals, birthday parties.
Nice. Nah, man, that was beautiful. We appreciate both of y'all being here with us tonight.
Thank you.
We definitely appreciate it, guys. Well, let them know y'all social medias. Where can they find you guys at?
You can just find me on Facebook. But
not Facebook.
Hey, keep it simple.
Yeah.
Marcus Boyd on Facebook. Autism Activist Marcus Boyd on Instagram, and autismactivistmarcusboyd.com is on the way. So
Nice.
Lit.
You can Google me.
Okay, period.
You can Google. I'm a testimony. You can Google John McClung Jr. That's my actual website too.
Nice.
JohnMcClungJr.com.
Nice. And man, I'm happy you speaking up for autism and just showing, there's no limit. So I'm happy you're doing that, and your testimony is really inspiring.
Well, you gotta do that, for the Midwest and stuff, because I used to live in Pittsburgh, so I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my friend's son got autism, and I see her post every day about something that's.
Well, listen, I'm gonna give you my number.
Yep.
I'm gonna give you my manager's number too.
Yep.
After we finish here,
Yep.
so anytime I can be any advice to your friend's mom.
I would definitely.
All he or she has to do is call me.
Okay.
Because advice is free.
Yep. I would love that. That's dope.
And we'll drop some T-shirts on y'all too.
Always.
Okay,
always.
we need some.
Always. We here.
We need some.
We appreciate it, man. Well, thank y'all again. It's the Progress Report.
Yes.